Whoa, you're the one who said it like that first.
Oh man, I don't want you to say anything incriminating at the very start.
Me, never.
You never. For those of you who don't know who the fuck is speaking, aside from me, this podcast, The Cave Dwellers, this was a podcast I had initially started with my friend Tim. Tim, I won't say anything disparaging about at all. Other than that, he was completely and totally unreliable. And
Totally
that's
not disparaging.
not disparaging in the slightest. What?
It's factual.
It's just factual. But it's not his fault. I really pushed this. He didn't seem to really have any interest in it whatsoever, and that's what it was. So Tim's out. And in, as of the last one we did, is this beautiful gentleman whose voice you've always been hearing, this ethereal presence, always heard, seldom seen. He's been featured on the LNC podcast in one of the earlier interviews, I believe one of our first interviews, if not our very first remote interview. I could go on. Hi, Marks. This is my best friend in the whole wide world. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for the not just for your listening pleasure, but for your little eyeballs as well. We have Mr. Cameron James Compton.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm your co-host, Compatron. You guys have seen me as a mod here on Hugo's channel. I'm also, very frequent in joining him on Smash Bros. And Call of Duty and whatnot. So you guys finally get to see my beautiful, beautiful face. I do apologize.
So very well
for...
lit. So
yes.
And you're very well framed off there in the bottom corner.
I do apologize for the camera angle. Unlike Hugo here, I'm just now getting my first webcam. My monitor unfortunately doesn't have one, but if this becomes a frequent thing, if you guys really enjoy the Cave Dwellers podcast, I will make sure to upgrade this for y'all's satisfaction.
I'm getting word that it won't because people won't enjoy it.
Really, no.
And that's breaking news.
But that's a shame. That is a shame.
Live now. Yeah. Well, I think we could do this regularly.
I think so. I think so.
I'm willing to commit. Are you willing to commit, Tim, to this?
I'm willing to commit. As long as certain people don't fall asleep,
hey,
when it's recording time.
Okay. All right. The gloves are coming off. Do you really want to chop it up? You want to get into this? So yesterday.
No, I'm not disparaging at all.
No, really, truly. You want to come at me? This is what I live for. So let's go ahead and let's just dissect this and get it over with. Let's rip this Band-Aid off. Because I feel like this just needs to be squashed right here. So yesterday, I told Cameron, my new co-host here, that we would be recording in a window between 8 and 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I worked a full day. I was up into the wee hours of the morning the previous night. This bitch. He's doing fucking crying. Like, I had the camera on me. They can't see you insulting me in the background. No, I mean, I was tired. I was running on like less than 4 hours of sleep every day for the past like 4 days. And I got home and I don't know what came over me. I said I was going to take a nap. I took a nap for an hour and a half. I woke up at 8:15. I was ready to go, and I sat up for a second, and then the rest is I blacked out. The rest is history. I don't know what happened because the next time I woke up, it was 11:30 p.m. And that's one of those sleeps though where your body needs it. That's like I was arrested. I had no agency whatsoever. Please.
So when you told me about that, I was wondering what happened because on my end, he wakes up at around 8:15 his time. That'd be 5:15 my time. For you guys who don't know, I'm on West Coast time over here in Las Vegas. But he sends me a message saying, "Hey, I'll be on in a few minutes." I'm waiting a few minutes. Like, I have things I could possibly be doing at this time.
Yeah,
I'm like, I could
okay.
be watching
I know.
anime, playing some
know. Go ahead,
games,
guilt trip me.
going
Yeah.
out, actually like being productive in
Yeah.
life,
Mhm.
which I wouldn't have, but it's a good
Thank
excuse.
you. No, thank you for the honesty.
But I'm just over here sitting on Discord for like an hour straight, just scrolling through TikTok,
I know.
Instagram shorts,
fucking
YouTube
know.
shorts, all the disgusting shorts that are
And look,
out
I'm
nowadays.
sorry. I from the bottom of my heart, I didn't expect to not only wake up on time, on schedule, and respond to you and like get ready to start this. The last thing I expected was to like quite literally just black out. Like and it wasn't like I slept for a long time, right? I did, but it was like I blinked between I woke up from my initial nap, texted you at 8:15 whenever, and then I blinked and then it was 11:30. That's essentially what happened. Like, that doesn't happen very often for me, but that was truly one of those sleeps that just came over me. So
hey, it's no worries. We're gonna get done now, and hopefully everyone who's watching can enjoy it.
yeah, all one
But
person, and I'm
for
pretty
our
sure that's you.
viewers,
I'm pretty sure that
it's
you're
probably me.
the only person. We'll do this on a schedule. We'll do this every Thursday. Like I said, in that window. It just depends on when both of us get home, but no later than 8:30. With any luck, we should be able to do this consistently every Thursday. Also, I want to say at the top here, Thursdays, the LNC podcast will come out. That will never be live again, so help me God. Too many issues, and I've resigned to only pre-recording those and posting them on a regular schedule. So those will go out super early in the morning. I tried to put them out at 10, but for some reason they take forever to process, and they end up out at 12 in the afternoon or noontime. So I put them out at 5 a.m. so they have plenty of time to process, and you guys can have them to fucking, I don't know, get your little beans off ASAP. So that's that. That's when that comes out. But this is going to be a live podcast every Thursday evening. Like I said, around 8:30. So you have this to look forward to. You have two things to look forward to in one day. Two completely different experiences. And what should the people, oh my God, I already fucked up. What should the people expect of this podcast, Cameron, in your words, in your humble opinion?
Well, my humble opinion, today is going to be a little bit of a unique one. Neither of us really prepared in advance, so I do apologize on that part. However, I think that as we prepare a little bit more, have some more topics to go off of, they can expect very just down to earth, humorous, just banter back and forth on a variety of topics.
I would say so far
It's
this
anything
is
from
exactly
Kim K's
that.
Brazilian butt lift
Ooh.
all the way to Donald Trump getting arrested.
There we go. Has he been yet?
Topics in between.
I mean, and I'm just learning things now. I mean, is that have there been any developments on those fronts?
I don't know. Our subject matter expert and a certain Discord member, politician that we have. I haven't gotten the scoop from him fully, but
Yes.
I do plan on getting that just for you guys.
And if I could tag on to what you said this is all about, our whole deal here, I think that this is going to be like stream integrated. So my Twitch stream, the community, we've got, of course, Compatron here. Blue, I never know what to call. Is it Dragonfly still? The Blue Dragon.
I want to say it's Blue Dragon Eye. Here, you know what? I'm on Twitch right now. Let me look him up right now. Blue Dragon Eye.
Blue Dragon Eye. What an easy, efficient title that is. Yes, we got him, of course. Emers, Populous Mocha, Corbry. I'm thinking all these guys can come on and we can shoot the shit with them, but Cameron and I here are the hosts,
the main hosts.
So That's kind of my idea with this. That out of the way, let's get right the fuck up in this.
All right.
I don't know what to talk about on account of what you said. We didn't prepare anything whatsoever, so I'm just going to go on YouTube here. And I'm thinking, in so doing, I can find anything. Literally. Oh, you know what I was looking at? Oh my god, it's not gonna be fun. I was looking at what you call the Little Mermaid Ursula trailer. Did you happen to see that?
I have not.
Okay, well, people are up in arms about this movie.
Oh no, is she a minority as well? Does she not look like Ursula?
So it's Melissa McCarthy as Ursula. I don't think we can play any part of that whatsoever.
You know, I think that is the perfect one-to-one for Ursula in real life.
Yeah, right.
No, I don't think anyone could play it any better.
No, I mean, like, truly. I mean, like, what else do you, like, it's a white lady. A fucking white lady. That's not what people are mad about. People are mad about Ariel, of course, because...
Of course.
It's not a white lady. That's where people got a little pissy. I want to pull up an article. Let's see. Little Mermaid Ursula. Yeah. And hopefully we can find something along the lines of the trailer I watched, because it looked good. I mean, I grew up on that movie, and like so many other people, all the Disney shits. Let's go to images. Can you see the screen, Cameron?
Hold up, my bad. I was
You're good. I just want to make sure you're able to follow along.
So I actually do not see the screen on Discord. I did see it on your
That's
Twitch,
weird because I'm sharing it.
So it's a little bit delayed for me on Twitch, obviously, but I'm not seeing it on... Oh, here we go. Watch stream. Bam, I see it.
On Discord.
Yep, on Discord.
Okay, cool. This is her. I don't know why there are no pictures. Like, she's fully in this trailer, right? So I don't know why there aren't any still images published.
I mean, from what I can see right there,
this is her.
The makeup's already looking...
Yeah, that's her right there.
Yeah, it's looking good.
It looks
looking like Ursula.
Yeah. Again, her right there. And she's not like a big part of like the cartoon either. Like, she's only in like the very beginning and the very end, pretty much. Like, it's
kind of like the introduction on the I guess the conflict, and then the resolution to the conflict.
So,
but okay.
I mean, like, I'm excited to see her do this. She's not a singer. I think that's a big like, people are nervous that she got the role, and she's admittedly, like, self-admittedly not a singer, but she fought for the role because she just wanted to do it like nothing else. She really wanted to play this character. So
well, I do have to admit, a lot of actors and actresses, they have so much money and training and everything like that.
Exactly. Like, she
to
could
be able to get their voice.
Yeah.
I mean, who would have thought, like, Emma Watson, for example, playing Beauty and the Beast, would have been able to sing all the stuff that she did, but she did pretty well with it.
Exactly. Like, I've heard Melissa McCarthy singing things before this, and it's usually like auto-tuned to shit.
I will say, what they could also do too is the live action Mulan. They didn't even have... I'm pretty sure they didn't have the main actress sing. They had Christina Aguilera do almost like all the songs, so they could do something very similar to that for Melissa McCarthy. Yeah,
I think she's gonna be singing, and I think, like you said, she's already training and getting that all done. And I mean, like, it looks like it's almost, if not completely filmed, So, yeah, I think it is. They've done filming, like, it's coming out. So I think she did all of it herself. So that's kind of like, that's the only controversy surrounding her is Ursula. Not the makeup. The look is true to everything. It's just mainly like, is she going to be able to sing? But then I was watching the original movie and doing a side-by-side. And what I noticed is in the original cartoon, she doesn't even like sing for real. It's like it's the same deal.
She
it's
does like what, one song?
Yeah, she does Poor Unfortunate Souls, whatever, right?
Yep.
And
That's her big one.
that's not even like singing. It's kind of like act singing. The lady who does it, Pat, whatever her name was, rest in peace to her. She's kind of like this Shakespearean way of talk singing that isn't like, she was like not doing any crazy belting bullshit. So anyway, it's not going to be hard. What I do want to talk about is this. Also, I will say people thought Lizzo should have been Ursula. I feel like two black people in two title roles would have put this over the edge for way too many conservative,
Well,
like fucking.
I don't want to say that, but I don't.
I mean,
love
she
Lizzo.
would have brought it.
I
She would
love
have brought
Lizzo.
it, and
I
she can
love Lizzo.
sing. She could have transformed the
she
role.
can- I feel like as if Lizzo would have been a great choice.
Did you see Queen
But
Latifah?
as soon
do
as
it?
like, I have not.
You should check that out. We might be able to actually watch that. I'm nervous to watch the trailer for the new movie or anything from the old movie because I
You don't
feel
want to
like
get it striked.
that'll get the whole thing
The whole
fucked.
shebang. Yep.
But this is different. This was like a live thing. I watched that recently too. She did a great job. I mean, shit.
So I will say, or I keep saying I will say, my bad.
Go ahead.
But for me, it's not the casting or anything like that that makes me nervous for the movie. It's that Disney has not been coming out with like any banger movies for a while now, it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially the live actions. Their live actions, in my opinion, have been pretty dookie ever since maybe Maleficent, which was like their very first try at doing a live action for these old animated storylines.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's see this. You said Queen Latifah?
Yeah. So this was like a live broadcast of an actual stage musical. So The Little Mermaid live on ABC 3 years ago. So this, like, you know how they do Wizard of Oz and they did like they did Beauty and the Beast this year. This was 3 years ago on ABC. So
Okay.
I mean, she looks good. The costume looks great.
Yeah.
They weren't kidding when they called me, well, a witch. Don't you find that nowadays I've mended all my ways?
And you can see this is the register of the song. It's nothing crazy. It's really low. It's kind of just like talking short syllables. Mended all my ways. It's not like any of the Ariel's songs where she's like, oh, doing all that bullshit.
You've made fun of me for it before, but I'm pretty familiar with a lot of Disney songs. So Poor Unfortunate Souls, just get a little bit of voice training with it. You don't even need something too crazy.
Yeah.
Even us, just like a little bit of practice could pretty much nail Poor Unfortunate Souls. It's a very not too technical song.
Yeah, it's not a taxing song by any means. I'm gonna skip forward. So
even her, she's like going a higher range than the original.
And I'm afraid I had to rake him across the coals. Yes, I've had the odd complaint, but on the whole, I've been a saint.
I was watching this and I noticed a comment. I think it's at this part. Hold on. Let me find.
Probably where the most replayed is.
Yes, yeah, it is. So right here, shut the fuck up. Good job. No, I wasn't even looking at that. I was literally looking at the image here. But yeah, no, it's exactly why it's most replayed, because right here, she's singing, walking around, and she touches that cauldron thing, and watch her react when she touches this. Next, she'll touch it again.
You had
You saw that where she goes, ah!
Oh yeah.
She
Yeah,
like
yeah.
she scalded her hand on it.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
like for real, like she fucking burned her hand.
I mean, go for her though. She like took that like
she
a
took it like a champ,
fucking champ.
kept it moving. Like what?
Like I would have even guessed.
No, for real.
Your pretty face.
And she's laughing and
then-
shit.
Underestimate
And then her, she just like
God.
keeping like very
Yeah, she
in roll.
she moves right along. It's fucking that's awesome. Anyways, that was just something I noticed about that video in particular. But you can see anybody could do this. It could have been a guy. It really like it's not. That's like the least the role of like the least worries for anybody. But
Oh yeah, for sure.
obviously all the controversies surrounding Ariel and the race swap. So that's unfortunate for this girl who's playing her. Just getting
I
a
agree.
lot of heat. I don't even know who's playing Prince. What's his face?
Like Triton.
Is
Or
it
the male
Yeah.
lead, yeah.
the male lead?
Yeah, no idea. No idea.
Me neither. Like I
but
feel like all the trailers and all the press have been like almost not showcasing any of the male leads whatsoever.
mhm.
Like I mean like true like there's no dialogue from any of them in any of the press except for the animals. Like Sebastian the crab says one thing in the latest trailer.
Okay.
So
I
anyways.
will say, my bad.
There you go.
Stumbled on my words there for a second, but watching this, it leads me down a different rabbit hole where, honestly, seeing that live performance, that musical performance, it makes me kind of want to go back and watch another Broadway show.
Yeah,
Kind of like how you and I had watched Miss Saigon that one time.
and
like-
yeah, with my dad, right? So
Mhm.
my mom just bought us all tickets for The Lion King at the Kennedy Center. I had never
Okay.
never seen that before. So I don't know what I think it's. I think it's in like June. I want to say so, but she got
Wait,
the tickets in
when
advance.
in June? When in June?
I don't even know if it's in June. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just spitballing, but it's a couple months from now. Is what I do know.
So, the reason why I asked is because I do come back for all the viewers. We're probably going to have a very special episode or two. In May, end of May, beginning of June. We'll probably have a live recording with both of us in the same room. I'll be back home in the area, and I would love to see that. And then maybe, if we have time, if it's early enough in the month, we can even do a Cave Dwellers podcast, kind of going over what we watched and our
Yeah.
thoughts on it.
I think this is officially a Disney podcast now. This is kicking off our Disney review podcast.
But no, it's just every little bit here and there kind of thing.
Yeah. No, I don't even know what possessed me to even give half a shit about this. I think I was like, I don't know if I listened to something where people were talking about it or what, but something came over me. It was actually last night. I was up after I woke up at 11:30. I was scrolling through my phone and then I saw this video. I saw the trailer for the new movie. I went down a whole area. I saw Titus Burgess on the right here. I saw him singing it. I don't know if you've ever watched Kimmy Schmidt or 30 Rock. He's
Nope.
both great shows. 30 Rock is my favorite comedy for sure. Alec Baldwin, Tina
So-
Fey.
Are there any current shows that have kind of replaced that, like The Office, 30 Rock, Parks and Rec, like anything that's kind of replaced those, or is kind of the comedy, I guess, field
I mean,
for weekly television kind of just off the radar now?
weekly, no, there's nothing. I don't think there's a dedicated show or a dedicated audience for any one show that's like crazy about it, other than like fucking old people. Like they watch, I think The Big Bang Theory is still on. I think
Bazinga.
Mazinga is still going strong. Yeah, I think that.
Actually, I think that they stopped that because now it's like Young Sheldon or something.
Oh, Young Sheldon. I
Stupid
don't,
shit
I
like
don't
that.
even know. I don't even like there's so many different streaming services now that I mean there are like 12 different cartoons across each of them. There are even more sitcoms between all of them, and yeah, what I've been watching though is mostly reruns of old shit and dramas. So I'm really not an authority on current
Dramas.
comedy
What
shit
kind of
anymore.
dramas?
Well, Succession comes out on Sundays now. There was a big development in that recently.
I haven't heard of that before.
HBO, check it out.
Okay.
Very good show. It's a fake. It's based loosely on Rupert Murdoch's family.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a fake media mogul's family. And it follows them basically trying to take control of the company from their dad, who's like fighting to remain in power and kind of fucking them around the whole time, like
Right.
giving them shit to do, making them feel important, and then pulling it out from under them.
Mm-hmm.
It is a drama, but it's got its comedic moments where they're just like cussing and doing drugs and, you know, being vapid like rich
Right.
people.
I know that Yellowstone has been pretty popular here
Yellowstone
the past couple of years.
is one of those exclusively for old people. Like that's what everything I've heard about
I don't
Yellowstone.
know. I've heard a lot.
Well,
So
well, go ahead.
I was gonna say military, obviously. So you know a lot of the same kind of demographic of people.
I was going to
but
say, yeah. So people who are brain dead for different reasons, for different,
Yes.
well,
But a lot of them love Yellowstone as well.
Yeah.
For them, Yellowstone is like a very big one. I'm actually currently working with a guy from Montana right now, and he's like all over that shit. Like you say anything bad about Montana, he'll bring up Yellowstone. He'll bring up all
Oh Lord.
like all a bunch of different kind of shit.
I do want to watch it.
it,
I want to
so-
watch it because everything I've heard is it's the show for dads by dads. It's like it's you turn your brain off and it's just
Mhm.
Kevin Costner on a horse with whoever else fucking
Well, I know
people
that
up.
they're doing another one with what's his name?
Matthew
Did
McConaughey
Tombstone.
is
Oh
taking
no,
over for
they're
him.
doing it with
Well, Matthew McConaughey is
Hans-
replacing him in some way.
really?
So the next iteration of Yellowstone, a spinoff, it's going to be Matthew McConaughey is Kevin Costner's character.
Hmm.
So,
That's interesting. Oh, like a younger version.
I
of him?
guess so, younger or maybe just completely replacing. I don't know. I think they're around the same age, or like not. It's not like a departure. It's
Right.
not like Matthew McConaughey would be the young Han Solo version of fucking
Well, speaking
Harrison
of
Ford.
Han Solo, Harrison Ford is, I think, playing like one of the ancestors of, or like one of the older family members of that whole family in another spinoff for it.
Oh my gosh!
Called like I want to say it's called like 1924 or some shit like that. Like just super way
Okay.
back when.
What I really want to watch, and I don't know if you've heard of this, it's called Tulsa King.
Tulsa King.
It's by the creators of, or at least one of the creators of The Sopranos. So this is
Ooh,
drawing you in.
okay.
But it's like
Did they got some of that gabagool?
it's like Yellowstone in that it's kind of a bad show. But it's like
Yeah, I haven't watched Yellowstone yet.
well, no, but like the reviews I've heard of Yellowstone is like the first season is like the peak, and then everything after that is sort of like far-fetched and ridiculous. Like it just becomes over the top, like almost humorous at points with how ridiculous the stakes get.
Okay.
Tulsa King, is similar to Yellowstone in that the writing is similar to later seasons where it's just kind of absurd and you kind of have to suspend your disbelief to
See, I'm kind of surprised though if it's a director from The Sopranos, because they kind of did that very well, where it was, you know, for those who haven't watched it, it's Tony starting off as just a normal member of it, like, you know, of the family, and then he like slowly builds himself up to being like the guy, like, you know, like what do they call it, like the Don
yeah
or something like that. And
some,
then, like, you know, that's when like the stakes are the highest, is like, you know, later on in the series. So I'm surprised that they didn't do the same thing with Tulsa King.
I could be spitballing here. I just heard something about this and Sopranos being related in some way, but I don't see the creator here. I don't know if
Well, I
it's
mean,
like, I don't know if
even
it's the
just
same
seeing
producer or what.
even just seeing like the very main I guess synopsis of it, like if you scroll up a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
where it's calling Stallone a mafia capo, that's exactly what Tony started out as.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So like he's a made man who gets, I don't know if he's getting out of jail or what, but he's thrust into this situation where he gets sent from like Jersey or New York or wherever to Tulsa, Oklahoma. And he's like, "What? I'm going to Tulsa. What the fuck am I going to Tulsa for?" And they're like, "We need you to run whatever from there." Like, so that's what you're doing.
So he kind of becomes like the guy in Tulsa.
And so the whole premise of the show, the title, right, the motif, if you will, is that he becomes the king of this small town just by him being there, just by him being the type of person he is. He just roughs everyone up and kind of takes control. Like he buys like a weed dispensary and just starts like he just starts beating the fuck out of people. And then somehow
with Martin Starr as Lawrence Bodie. I don't even want to pronounce that last name.
See, I
a weed
know.
dealer recruited by Manfredi to help finance his syndicate.
So I want to see the relation. I'll have to actually look at this, or I'll just watch this fucking show. I don't care.
Oh, Happy Trails. I know a little bit of thing about Happy Trails.
Yeah. Anyways, I've been curious about it because I've heard remarks on how ridiculous it is, but how funny it can be just by the juxtaposition of the plot and Sylvester Stallone. And people are saying that this is like one of Sylvester Stallone's best roles, even with the show being like over the top and goofy. He still does a good. He's not like he has this propensity, like in Rocky and all of his big blockbusters, to be. It's kind of like the same as The Rock. As Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson,
where it's always the same exact character, no matter what.
Always the same character, sort of, but he has to be the hero. He can't get defeated. It's like in his contract. I need to. I did it. I need to win, but I can't be a fucking loser on screen. It's just not gonna happen.
Hey, he lost in the very first Rocky.
Yeah,
we gotta admit that.
But then after, when he's able to advocate for himself, like in behind the scenes dealings, he makes sure.
Once Rocky performed very well, he was like, "All right, now I don't lose anymore.
I don't lose. I fucking win.
I fucking win. I fucking do it, Adrian. I did it."
So then here's this show about this guy who gets out of jail, goes to this town, and all he does is win the whole time. Where it's just slowly building it. All you're doing is watching him build an empire. You're not really watching any adversity whatsoever.
Okay, those can be kind of fun sometimes, right? So in a way, I kind of want to like tie it into anime. So I know that you were just saying earlier before we started the podcast.
And this is the end of the podcast. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys. It was fun. Adios.
Okay.
But no, I was going to say that there's a lot of anime where it's like you have someone who's just overpowered and you know for a fact they're not going to lose. No matter what the fuck happens. It could be like Rise of the fucking devil himself. Fucking super broken and you just know this character isn't going to lose, and it's
Mhm.
always kind of fun just watching how that's going to play out, because you know that they're not going to lose,
Yeah.
but you kind of want to see how they win out of that situation,
Yeah.
which makes it interesting sometimes.
Because you're just watching the decision making at that point. You know what to expect and what won't happen, but you're curious to see how they are victorious. I get
Yeah,
that.
exactly. And like, I know that for me, I like some of those sometimes where you just know someone's overpowered, because in a way, like you were saying, like, it's really funny just sometimes just how much they shit on other people,
Yeah.
to the point where it's just like, I don't know, I don't want to say like you relate with the character,
Mm-hmm.
but like in a way you almost kind of wish that you were them, and it's just like funny, like, that's fucking obvious, of course they would fucking do that shit. Like, if I were them, I would do that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like, there's the same argument to be made. If I can bridge anime with Tulsa King, there's the popular show on Amazon, Invincible, the animated superhero
Yeah.
thing. You know the whole time that the dad, what's his name, Omni Man, he could just fucking destroy the whole planet if he wanted to. But you're curious to see what happens on the run up, and I think that's a show done very well in that it's not the perspective isn't centered on that one overpowered character. It's centered on all the people whose lives are at stake, who do stand to lose at all costs, and they're having to grapple with this overpowered person. I think that's a more fascinating approach.
Kind of like, for me, I always tie these two together just because they came out like right around the same time, and Invincible is on Amazon, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is The Boys. So I'm
Yeah,
not sure if
I
you've
love
seen
The
that, but like,
Boys, yeah.
same
Same
exact
thing.
thing, like super just like overpowered guy. You watch him fail, and then you just see like some of these, or in most of the cases, I think, like, from what I understand, I've only seen season 1 of The Boys. I need to catch up.
Yeah. You
But
didn't see him like mow down a crowd of people when he got
yeah,
pissed.
exactly.
Yeah.
So like, stuff like that's always kind of fun to see, because you know how just stupidly over the top this shit is, and it's
Yeah.
just in a way
Definitely.
kind of almost gets you hyped.
It does, yeah. You're excited to see what kind of mayhem will ensue when that sort of unchecked power is at play, for sure. But
And
like I said, though, I mean, even with that show, and they are very similar shows owned by the same network, which is like, that's a whole different conversation. But I mean, like with The Boys, you're on Jack Quaid's character and the team of people determined to stop these virtually unstoppable super powered beings, so I think again that's a more tense, fascinating story to explore than, okay, here's the Homelander show where we watch him jerk off probably 20 times a day in between flying across the world to destroy a terrorist sect, you know what I mean?
Right.
So,
well, like, for me though, sometimes it's like refreshing to see those kind of stories though, because like most of the time with those stories, you have to have a character who kind of, almost in a way, they're trolling you, because the character will do common sense things. Where we're so used to characters in shows like that, to make it more tense, they do like something so fucking retarded.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad, stupid. Can't say the R word. You do something so fucking stupid where you're just like, that makes no sense, right? So like, another very popular show, The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
It was great for its first like 4 or 5 seasons. But the thing that got me with it every single time was just how stupid the characters
good
were.
job. Holy shit. About to be 2
Hey,
for 2.
I could catch myself there. But just how stupid the characters were, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To where the writers have to, almost in a way, make the characters dumber than what they really should be, to make it more tense.
Yeah.
Like, oh no,
They're
the Walker
artificially
horde.
raising the stakes because
like,
so
oh
and so
no.
decided to go into a pile of zombies.
A Walker horde is coming and they're 100 miles out. They're gonna get here in like 5 days. What are we gonna do? Oh, I'll just drive straight over to them to get ammunition that we obviously need to fight this Walker horde. And now they're fucking stuck in there. And oh no, how am I gonna get out? How did this happen?
Yeah.
It's like, of course it fucking happened. Like, are you dumb?
Yeah, I get that. And
like-
but if they had the power to disintegrate them on site, that's what they would do, and then the show would be over too. So then there's that.
Mhm.
There's got to be a combination of the two.
Right.
Have you
For
seen?
sure.
You bring up The Walking Dead. I assume you've seen The Last of Us. Did you watch that?
I have not actually. I still really need to watch that.
If you have,
I've heard
so you have
amazing things about
HBO. You have HBO.
I do.
That's fuck Succession. That's where you start. You start with that. That is a fucking phenomenal
I don't
show.
know. Whenever I go on HBO, I see The Sopranos pop up, and I always have to
I do
watch at least
too.
an episode or two.
I watch an episode and then I get back to business.
Okay.
HBO. Oh my god, that beer's doing a number on my burpees.
Mm.
The Last of Us currently is top of the line. Again, like top marks, phenomenal television. But then we have Succession is good. Succession is kind of like eye candy. You're watching rich people do rich shit, and you couldn't really give less of a fuck about them. But it's fun to watch
Whereas,
them
like, The
throw
Last of
temper
Us is like
tantrums.
real fucking gritty.
Real gritty drama. You know, like you're invested in these characters. It's almost like an anthology series, to tell you the truth, because the only constant is Pedro and what's her face.
Which is what I was about to bring up too.
Mm-hmm.
I know everyone on the entire internet's like sucking him from
I
underneath
don't
the
care.
table.
From the back side, yeah,
Like,
I don't get it.
backside, anywhere. They're on top of that, man. But
That's all marketing.
Pedro Pascal, like, he's been doing a phenomenal job with every single show I've seen him be in. He
Mhm.
does amazing. Like Game of Thrones, The Mandalorian.
He was in Game of Thrones.
He was in Game of Thrones, yeah.
As who? The Mexican guy from Game of Thrones.
No. So in Game of Thrones, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I want to say he was like a Dornish prince or something like that.
Mhm.
And have you watched any of Game of Thrones?
No, that's
Okay.
what I should be watching on HBO. I should be joining
I mean,
that fight.
never hurts to go back and watch it. I mean, it's a good show.
Mhm.
It can get pretty R-worded at time,
Yeah.
like, from the very famous Tekashi 6ix9ine. Sometimes you watch the characters and you think, are you dumb, stupid, or dumb?
Yeah,
But no. So
it's a really
Pedro Pascal played a
great
Dornish
quote.
prince who was helping one of the main characters, Tyrion, with a certain
That's Peter
thing
Dinklage,
at
right?
one point. Yep, Peter Dinklage.
See, I know
little
the
guy.
characters.
You can't call him a dwarf. You can only call him a little guy.
I think a dwarf is technically correct. I think the M word is what we can't call him. Yes. The no R words, no M words, no.
Are you talking about midget people?
Oh my god. I have to end this. I have to. We can't.
But
continue.
no. I apologize to any of our viewers who got offended.
Our saving grace is that no one will ever see this ever. And,
Let's see
yeah.
who are our viewers. Oh, a whole bunch of bots, pretty much. Nice.
So yeah, I'll watch that at some point. But I was gonna Last of Us, if you do get on HBO, watch that immediately.
Mhm.
You won't regret. I only say that because you won't regret it whatsoever. It's just a great show, and I say it's an anthology of sorts because it takes you through a bunch of different stories of different characters, cursory characters, with each episode. So
Okay.
there's like no two episodes like repeat stories, character arcs, nothing. Like it's about these two characters' journey to one place, but each episode showcases a completely different
Like
setting.
different people that they meet
Different-
along the way.
Exactly. Yeah. And they almost never, I hesitate to say make it with them, because there are people who do live, but they just split off. You know, they end up doing their own shit, and then in the next episode they're nowhere to be found.
Almost in a way, like it reminds. I'm about to go very kiddish here, but it almost reminds me of like a Pokemon episode.
Exactly.
Where like, you know,
they
like,
meet this
like
one guy.
you have like
having
your
this one
main, like, you know, your main journey. You obviously know their goal, and as they're going along, until like
and
Ash
they're like, thanks for the
battles a
help.
gym
Yeah.
leader, you know, like they see, oh, this one character needs help with his Pokemon. Let's go help him. You learn their whole backstory, and then you never hear from them ever again.
Exactly. And they depart, and it's like, well, that was really neat that he helped us, and we'll never
Yeah.
see him again. That's pretty much the whole Last of Us premise.
Okay.
But
I could
it's
see that as like a good and bad. But I've heard
It's
amazing things about
really
it, so I'm
good.
assuming
It's fucking,
yeah.
it's I've never seen that executed before in like a live action way. You know, I'm never, like, you actually found the perfect tie-in. Like, Pokemon is the perfect example of the show structure, but it works seamlessly in this show somehow. I don't know how, but they figured it out, and they give you just
probably because
enough.
they took like the structure and made it like adult themed.
It's adult themed,
So-
and they give these characters these amazing little story arcs somehow, some way, in like 45 minutes or less, and
Okay.
it just works. It works. There's an episode with two gay guys where like the whole episode's about
I've heard
them.
I've heard about that one a lot.
A marvelous
that was like
episode.
Yep.
There's one with a guy who's taking care of his deaf brother.
oh wow, okay.
And they help each other. That's a great episode. There's one where they showcase Ellie's. Ellie has like a flashback to when she was
Is Ellie the little
the girl. Yeah.
So
She's
if
also in Game of Thrones.
I was about to say, I think she's
Yeah.
also in Game of Thrones.
She's like a princess or some shit.
Hold on, let me look up Ellie. I can tell you exactly what she is.
Yeah. I just learned that recently because I haven't seen the show, but I saw something about her. She's in it. While you're looking that up, okay, so there's that. That's first.
Okay, so she also played in Game of Thrones as a not a princess, but kind of like a ruler of her domain.
Got you. I just remember her in whatever the photo I saw. It was like her in a dress, so I figured she had status.
She has status in the show, but she doesn't show up until like way later on, like second to last season, pretty much.
Okay.
And she was very young in Game of Thrones too when she made her appearance.
Yeah. Check that show out. You won't regret it. Next,
Yeah, for
White
sure.
Lotus season 2. Season 1 entirely skippable. Season 2 very bingeable, watchable, fun. If you want to be a part of the cultural conversation,
Wow.
a part of the zeitgeist right now, I would watch
Oh my
season
God.
2 of White Lotus. Yeah.
Okay, but like, where's a Marco Polo
You would like
reboot?
you would like season 2, especially as a Sopranos watcher, because Chris Moltisanti is in it.
Ooh.
Yeah. Michael Imperioli
All right,
is the
what's
main
it on?
character.
what's it on?
HBO. He comes
Okay,
back.
okay.
Christopher comes back. He's
Christopher.
he
What are you
does a
doing,
great job.
Christopher?
He's a great actor.
Where's
like,
the gabagool, Christopher?
I fucking and your mother's twat. Fuck. Yeah.
Maroon!
He's
For any
not.
of our viewers, in case you
Yeah.
couldn't tell, we're very big Sopranos fans. Go watch it. Amazing show. I still personally rank that in my top like 3 all-time series.
I can't watch the Many Saints of Newark. I tried to watch 2 seconds of that. Cannot do it.
Hey, did I say go watch that? No, I said go watch The Sopranos.
I'm trying to highlight what a piece of shit letdown that was.
Okay. Let me.
And Joey
Lay it
Diaz
on
was
me.
in it too. I'm like, This had so much potential.
The Joey Diaz.
Uncle Joey. Let's watch that. Let's watch the clip of him talking about the lady with the peg leg. That'll be what we finish on.
We have to save that for like when we're really down bad. I don't think we're
Yeah.
that down bad right now.
I think we can finish our TV conversation and then we can we can just
Because I won't have anything to add to it. Like we'll literally just be
I think it's a good send off. I think it's a good send off and a good way to launch off the podcast.
It's like for me, it's not even. I'm gonna dive into that real quick before we finish up our TV thing. For me, it's not even like the story. The story is interesting. It's whatever, right? But it's the reactions all around him
Yeah.
and his laugh.
Yeah.
So, as you guys, I'm not sure if you guys have heard I Blue Dragon I. Him really laugh.
Do you have
on,
that sound
stream?
sound bited? No.
I don't. I
Yeah.
wish I did.
Gotta get one of those.
I'm gonna have to like record one of our things one day.
True.
But it's this very deep wheezing laugh, like a laugh that you know that this person has some sort of health issue with them.
Yeah. Like they're
I
not long
love
for
you.
this world.
I love you, I Blue Dragon. I really do. But
Yeah.
you got something going on with you,
Mm-hmm.
boy. Because no one should be laughing like that.
Like if he didn't wake up tomorrow, we wouldn't be shocked. Just based off of his laugh.
Like I'm not sure if you guys heard the little bit of wheeze I had just then, but like this shit comes out like a.
Yeah. It's a guttural respiratory illness.
It hurts for me to do that.
Yeah.
Like, but it's one of those laughs where like you hear that and you have to laugh
With Joey Diaz, it's
with them.
it's really smokerish though, so it's like I can't even
It's just- it's-
fake it. But it's a
I almost want to
combination.
say
of,
it's
yeah.
like if you've ever had that cool uncle at the cookout, you know, you have like the uncle that you don't really talk to. You have all the other people, but like that cool uncle that you just want to hang around, just listen to them talk. That's who Joey Diaz is, and he has that same kind of laugh where like as soon as he laughs, you're laughing too.
Yeah.
They could just say something completely stupid,
My
like something not comedic at all, but as soon as they start laughing, you're laughing.
I'm doing stand up now, right? I've done like 17 or so open mics so far, so I'm still a beginner, but I'm kind of on the inside now of the local DC.
You're on the end.
Well, I'm on like the local DC rounds. Like I'm meeting everybody who gets paid to perform at all these places, right?
Okay.
My goal before one of us dies is to meet him for sure at some point.
Joey Diaz.
Yeah, I mean, if I start to like tour, if I end up in Texas for like a few shows in a few years, I definitely want to like. I want to go when he's performing, when I know he's out and about doing the rounds. I want to make sure and line it up to where I could like possibly meet him.
I will say, Vegas, very huge community, like big city. Everything's going on. I know it's not the city that never sleeps, you know, but Sin City's pretty close to that. You can go anywhere at like 3 a.m. and you might not find the exact thing that you want to be open, but you'll find something open at 3 a.m, right?
Yeah.
So if you ever come over here, I will say, do your research ahead of time. If you ever want a place to come by and stay and stream, who knows? Maybe we can get some very good videos of it posted up there for you guys to enjoy.
Damn right. I definitely want to. That would be a lot of fun.
So if you ever need like a place to stay to do your comedic rounds, just let me know.
We'll do that. Absolutely, 100%. That I'll take a 3-4 day period off. I don't give a fuck, and I'll go out there and I have vacation time. I'm sold. That'll be DC. I've lived here all my life in Virginia, you know, like we have until you moved, of course. But I mean, it's the same. It's in a lot of ways, DC, there's shit that I had no idea goes on late into the night that just does. I mean, and it's all these weird dive bars tucked away and you know, multi-story row buildings, you know, that are just like, you would have no idea that that there are all these fucking hookah bars and fucking, like I said, just dive bars that you could just walk into. But it's not just a bar. There's an open mic happening. There's karaoke happening. There's like a game show being recorded and going out to God knows where, you know, like there's all kinds of like special events, usually free, especially at like 1 a.m. They're all free, that you can sign up for or just walk in on. And I would have been doing this shit as soon as I turned 18 if I knew that that the barrier to entry was so low, you know, and that all this was going on. Like, I'm right now, what I'm doing basically to get on these things is you find the event somehow. It's like going on a scavenger hunt at first until you meet people who tell you about these things. Then it's a lot easier to find. But initially,
so I'm guessing like that means that you're like on the end now, right? To where like
no,
you're
exactly.
getting
People
some of this information.
come up to me and they're like, "Oh, you need to be on this," and then you sign up for it, you get on it, and then you meet 3 other people that say you need to be on this, this, and this. And now there's a whole outward branching network of shows and events that are all interconnected that you find out about. It's supposed to be public knowledge, but it's so poorly advertised that it's like,
well, I mean that's like a lot of things. So with like especially a big city, is that there's so many different things going on continuously.
Yeah.
That like it's hard for that information to get out and get well circulated.
Yeah.
So I know I talked to you about it before we started this podcast, like, you know, but I'm planning on going to an anime expo next week.
I was gonna say, not to cut you off, but that's exactly how people get into like furry shit. I feel like they find one.
Oh yeah,
they
100%.
They find one little porn or whatever or costume, and then they meet somebody who's like, "Oh, we got fucking FurCon next week. You should go." And then they...
whoa. All right, all the expos that I've either been, well, actually I haven't been to an expo yet, but all the expos I was planning on going to were all very normal. Okay,
above
I was
board.
planning on going to the AVN. So for those of you who don't
Very
know,
normal.
adult video, something. I don't know what the N stands for, but you know, if you know who Stormy Daniels is, imagine a whole bunch of her all in the same exact place. I was planning on going with my boys, but I had to get this PC that I have right next to me on the same exact day, so that didn't work out. Another anime convention that I had found that I didn't even know about. It wasn't even well advertised, but one of my sergeants that told me about it. Try to do that, and then both my boys flaked on me. And then this one, I just randomly came across on Facebook.
Yeah, so
it was like one of those like advertised for you or like, you know, events happening near you.
Suggested, yeah.
And I think like one person had said like that I follow or like, you know, that I'm friends with out here said like maybe going, and that's like the only reason why I even saw that.
I wasn't suggesting that you're a furry or that you're going to. I'm just saying like the shit that's so obscure to me like that is like, I feel like that's such a niche like subgroup of like fetish or people. I don't even know what to refer to them at, like what that is classified. Things, pets, animal people. That seems to be such like a
degenerates.
No, it's so narrow, but yet there's a whole underground community of people who do. It's the same with like people who dress up like dogs, like the puppy people who get walked and you know, like they find out about one aspect. Then you meet 1 or 2 people who introduce them to a whole new world. Like, if I might bring back the
wow,
if I might tie it back,
it's full circle, everyone, full circle.
And like mer people, there's a whole group of people who are like mermaids, right?
Yeah.
Did you know that? Like, but it's because one of them liked swimming, and then they found a YouTube or like a Facebook suggested thing, and then they met two people who told them, "Hey, accept this
I'm a
lifestyle.
mermaid.
We have book
Mhm.
club meetings. We have
Or
we
like,
have an Olympic pool we rent out once a week at the local
or like out
Y."
here, right? Sin City, right? Sin City, you have everything here. So I didn't know that there was a huge swinger community over here until I guess like one person who was like recommended to go into it or some shit like that.
Mhm.
And then like they found about it because like one of their friends heard about it from another person who invited them, like, just like this long ass like just line going through that eventually dropped down to me. But there's like a huge swinger community over here in Vegas. I didn't even know about that. Like I don't even know where it happens at, but
Mhm.
apparently it happens like often enough to where, you know, people just go and like do these giant ass swinger parties with like drinks and wearing fucking who knows what to all this shit. And it's like if you go to like a certain part of town and you're wearing like certain clothing, it's almost kind of like fucking out in Compton where you have your Bloods and your Crips. Like if you see someone wearing this specific color or this specific thing, you're like, oh, are you a swinger? Yeah, I'm totally a swinger. Are you guys? Yeah.
Yeah.
When does the
Or
next
like
meeting happen?
I've heard pineapples is like a
Hmm.
like if you see somebody wearing a pineapple shirt or
Like
necklace.
that, or like I think I heard one of them was like flamingos or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
it's like depending on the community you're in, there are different symbols that you look for.
Hmm.
Well, I'm just gonna zoom right through. So we said Last of
All
Us,
right.
watch that shit. Barry, I don't know if you've ever heard of Barry. I loved
Nope.
that. Very quick, easy to get through because the episodes are only like 20 something minutes each. But it's Bill Hader. He's a hitman that's out of the business who wants to become an actor or something. Like, I'm probably butchering that. I've seen the whole show, but
Mhm.
it's a great show. I love Bill Hader,
Okay.
Saturday Night Live alum. But it's a fantastic comedy drama. Henry Winkler is fantastic in it. So there's that.
I've heard The Bear. That's a very good one
The
from what I've
Bear.
heard.
What's The Bear?
Have you ever watched Shameless?
Yes.
You remember Lip?
Lip.
The guy with kind of like his nose kind of connected with his lip. He was like the oldest son but younger than Fiona.
Oldest son. Like
Um
the Star Wars guy?
no, 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 no. From Shameless. Like, the one with what's his name? Like William something.
Not
William H.
not
Macy.
Rogue One or not sorry, not Last Jedi, right? Or whatever the fuck is the game.
No, no, no. This guy was never in Star Wars.
Okay.
So
You know who I'm
his
talking
biggest
about though,
role.
right? The Star Wars guy. The
No.
gay one.
Oh, no, no, no. He was also in Shameless, but he played Ian, I think.
Yeah. So then
I
who's
want to say
Lip?
that was his name, Ian.
Is
Lip
Lip?
was his older brother.
Oh, okay. So like the guy with the brown hair.
Kind of more like blondish brown, but yeah.
Blondish. It's been so long since I watched that. What
Hold up,
about
hold
him
up, hold
though?
up.
What
Let me
about Lip?
let me see.
I mean,
But he plays
I
in
should be
The
looking
Bear.
this up. We could have been done with this. Lip, Shameless. Wow. Yeah. That's who I was thinking of with
Yeah,
the brown hair. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
cool.
But he plays in The Bear, which I don't know exactly fully what it is, but anybody who's brought it up has said amazing things about it. He plays like as a cook for like a restaurant in Chicago or something like that,
Okay.
which makes sense because like he played as Lip Gallagher, which is Shameless's filmed in what is it, inner city Chicago, I want to say.
Got you.
But he plays as a cook who took over the restaurant business for like a family member in Chicago, is like trying to make it kind of his own. But I've always heard like amazing things about it.
I've never heard of that at all. That's on HBO or
No idea.
Showtime.
No idea. I'm just throwing out another one that I've heard good things
And
about.
so I'm talking HBO. So can we stay on top?
Oh,
I'm
I-
surprised. I've never heard of that show like at all. Like when you said Bear, I thought you were gonna recommend Cocaine Bear, and I thought I was gonna have to shoot you. It was
I
an
would shoot
awful
myself
movie.
before I recommend
That
that.
was a. Did you see that?
I don't want to see it.
Please spare yourself.
Is it that bad?
It's fucking. I saw that with Danielle actually.
Okay.
I saw it, and this never happens. It was so bad that I felt compelled to write a review of the movie with her, and so we did.
Really?
Yeah, I read the
Both you
review.
two?
I read the review on the LNC podcast.
Oh, I must have missed out.
So I'll spare you that, but
thank
I'll
you.
read it to you after this if you're curious. She and I were drunk. We got wasted because we wanted to forget the experience, but we felt emboldened to talk about how awful it was.
Well, give me when I'm over there, give me another movie to watch, and I'll do that same exact time, or I guess mindset.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure if you noticed from the screen sharing, but see this?
There we
Empty.
go. I used to love that, the soju. Have you had the oh my god, what's it called? Chozu? Have you had chozu?
I have not.
The Korean plum
Oh,
shit
Christian.
with the plums
Hold up,
floating
hold up.
around in there. Okay, so that's plum flavored.
But I haven't had the ones with the plums.
Well, so
floating
let
around.
me pull up a picture and show you and see if you haven't seen this before. Chozu plum wine. Oh my god, I can't even fucking type. I think that Choya. I don't know why I thought.
Oh, I've
Choya.
seen it. I haven't had it.
I think I like. Yeah, this shit right here.
Ooh, that looks really good.
And
I'm not
they
gonna
always
lie.
have the marinated plums in there in the container.
The thing with like alcohol that has like fruit or like things in it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, as soon as you take a bite of those, it's like just straight pure alcohol just rushing your brain.
Mm-hmm. So definitely when you go to H Mart or wherever you go for your other shit.
So I
Check
actually
some
got
of that
this
out.
soju over at our base exchange.
Mm-hmm.
But we have a place called Lee's Discount Liquor over here.
Okay.
Like, so pretty much the best way I can describe it for anyone who hasn't been is if you've been to a big total winery before, imagine that, but like cheaper,
Mm-hmm.
not as bougie, and more alcoholic friendly.
Yeah.
Where like Total Wine, like, you kind of go there when you're like, I'm feeling like getting a dry red wine that was made in this year over in Italy to go with this one meat dish I'm thinking of making for the night. Whereas like with Lee's, you fucking show up at like 1 in the morning already half plastered. You're like, I need me like fucking a handle of Jack, a handle of fucking Tito's, like 3 different Japanese drinks, and like a fucking like whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have it there. Like
Damn. Yeah.
it's Christian. I'm
That-
telling you,
that
if you ever
sounds like-
come out here to
That
Vegas,
sounds like I would be dead by now.
like that's why. So for all you guys who don't know, last time I went back home, I got alcohol poisoning.
Amen.
First day, very first day.
Praise the Lord.
So what happened was that I drank about. So I'm not sure if you guys can see this. I'm not going to show the brand because we're not sponsored. But this size soju, I drink about like
Give him a
1.5
rundown.
of these.
I need a shot glass. I forgot to bring one up with me.
Go
I'm
ahead,
gonna
go
get a
ahead.
couple more. So
I'll
you
tell
go
the
ahead and
story while
tell
you're
them.
gone.
Yeah.
So I drink about like 1.5 of those, and it was about like 12 o'clock in the morning my time. along with that, I drank about 2 or 3 beers and about 3 or 4 doubled mixed drinks. I had a flight at like 6 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning. So I fall asleep around, I don't know, 4 o'clock. No, no, I had to leave by 6:30 my time to make the flight. So I fall asleep around like 4:30 my time. I'm pretty drunk already. I'm feeling pretty good.
Not to
Wake
cut
up
you
like an
off,
hour later.
I know you're deep in thought. My mom wanted to say hi real quick.
Hi, Miss Lita.
Hello.
Hope you're doing well.
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm just telling the story of how I got alcohol poisoning and buzzed in his room at like
Oh,
at night. Yeah.
I've heard bits and pieces of this epic story.
Well, here I'm telling it for the whole crowd. So if you want to listen in,
I have
So,
not heard the full
to
details.
rehash for you, no one's really watching, so it's fine.
Come here.
Around midnight my time.
Uh-huh.
I'm currently holding a soju bottle right here. I'm not sure if you can see it.
Yes, yes.
I drink about like 1.5 of these
Uh-huh.
by myself.
Oh.
3 or 4 doubled mixed drinks.
Oh.
And like a few beers.
Okay. Okay.
And I fell asleep around like 4 o'clock my time. I had to be out of the house by like 6:30 in the morning
Uh-huh.
to make it to the flight back home.
Okay.
So I maybe got like an hour and a half of sleep max.
Oh, Lord, Cameron.
So I get on the flight to go back home. I didn't really eat much before I got on the flight, and then on the flight I didn't eat anything.
Okay. Okay.
I just drank some coffee. So then our gracious co-host here, Hugo Stranger,
Uh-huh.
he picked me up from the airport, and I want to say it was around 4 p.m. Eastern time. So 4 p.m. Eastern time is around 1 p.m. my time. So I'm maybe 7 hours difference between when I had last drink and when I was getting picked up.
Right.
And I'm running on 1.5 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Maybe like a little bit of nap time in between.
You know what this is sounding like? It's sounding deadly. That's what it's sounding like.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
So
I feel like this is a
Hugo-
near-death experience happening here.
So Hugo Stranger picks me up, and I'm part Thai for anyone who doesn't know. So I love Thai food, and there's a very great Thai restaurant up in Northern Virginia where we're from. So we go over there, and I order like a little bit of food. I order a Singha beer,
Karen.
and I start drinking that a little bit. Well, Christian invites Danielle, someone that we both knew from high school,
Who is definitely
to
a
come
drinker.
and join us.
She's a certified drinker. Yes.
She's also a certified drinker.
She's a professional.
So she comes over. We're talking a little bit. Both Christian and Danielle are very hungry, so I don't want to hold us up from doing anything, despite the fact that I was still kind of hungry. But I wasn't hungry to the point where I felt like as if I had to like stop and eat, like to the point where it was very necessary for me to eat.
Right. So
So
what
they
I
decide,
so what
"Okay,
I'm
let's go up
hearing
and-"
so what I'm hearing as a concerned citizen is that you were ignoring
Don't listen to her.
all the red
Don't
flags
listen to her.
that your body was telling
You did the
you
right thing.
food
You were correct.
would be a good idea.
You
That's
made
what I'm
all the
hearing.
right
It would have been
calls
it would have been a
every
great idea.
step of the way.
Okay. All right.
But
proceed. Okay.
so we all decided to go out for drinks up in Northern Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
So we go up there and we start getting drinks. We're bouncing around and at each place.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm the military member here. For anyone who doesn't know, you probably heard me make comments at it before. But the stigma with military members,
Is that
we
they're
love to
alcoholics?
drink.
That they're alcoholics, not that they.
we love to drink.
Yeah.
That includes me.
Yeah.
So as we're out, anything that Christian and Danielle don't finish, they immediately look to me. They're like, finish it.
Right.
So I'm drinking my drinks. I'm drinking their drinks. I'm not really eating. I think the most that we had was like maybe a little bit of chips and guac at a Mexican bar.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we go through until about like what do you want to say it was, Christian? Like 8-9 o'clock at night?
Yeah, something like that.
So it was like 8-9 o'clock at night. We come back to his place,
You better not
and on the
take
way
your
there, we
shit
both
in
pick up
here.
a 12-pack of beer. And I started drinking the beer. I don't remember how much I drank, but apparently my whole 12 pack of our beer was demolished in that night.
Mm,
And apparently I drank at least half, if not 3/4 of it.
sorry, you can hear the dog.
So
You can hear the dog now. So, as you can see, your biggest fan has arrived.
hey, no, thank you for watching. But
Ugh.
so I would say within a 17-hour period, with only maybe about like an hour and a half of like real rest in between, I had soju, whiskey, beer, vodka, tequila. What else? I want to say a little bit of rum that night as well, right, Christian? Over at the first place.
Probably, yeah. Well, so we went to Shirlington,
Mhm.
and then they have an open alcohol thing outside
Yeah,
where
yeah.
they let you walk around with your drinks from each place. So
Like Vegas.
they'll give you a to-go cup.
Yeah,
I was in Crystal City. Well, I've been there a few times now performing, and they have that
yeah.
now at all the restaurants
open
down there.
carry,
Yeah,
basically.
and they have little signs that tell you where you can't take your drink past. But yeah, the whole little.
So it sounds to me like my new calling should be probably alcohol rehab in that area, because I would
Maybe.
probably I might
No.
just make a killing, because
No.
I feel like as people are walking around with their open containers, I could just be like, drinks are free, come in here, right? And everybody will
And
come
give them
in,
water.
and I could just be
So you
giving them
can
water,
proselytize.
giving them
Yep.
food,
No.
and giving them a little bit of mom therapy at the same time.
So
So
at the end of it all, Tim, our previous co-host for the Cave Dwellers,
Rest in
took
peace.
me back home for the night, and I walked inside and proceeded to throw up on the couch. And the entire next day, I was drive heaving and couldn't eat a single thing because I would immediately throw it up.
oh
So-
oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, this wasn't at his parents' house, was it?
it was at my
It was
parents'
at
house.
his parents'
Oh,
house.
your parents' house.
His mom
I threw up on their couch.
called me or texted or something, or the next day I talked to her some way, and she's like, "Guess what my son gave me for my birthday?"
I love his Miss Island. I love it.
It was on her birthday as well,
Oh,
where she woke up.
Cameron!
She woke up, went downstairs, and saw that I
Oh.
had emptied my entire night's worth of drinks all on the couch.
Oh man.
And I was so drunk. I remember throwing up. I don't remember feeling throwing
Yeah, yeah. Oh Lord.
up. So
Well, I feel like you and Christian have both christened that house with your experience, and then obviously Christian having his drunk experience there as well. I feel like
which
it-
we'll save for
I
another
don't remember
episode.
that.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
don't know
Christian's
what
saying
you're referring
he
to.
cannot recall that at all.
I
so-
don't.
I do believe Christian wants to finish up with a Joey Diaz video, and then
Oh, you should watch this. I think we should all watch this together. So I'm
yeah,
gonna.
for sure.
What is
I'll
this
press
video?
play on it.
So
I
everyone,
wanted
this is
to
going to be
end
our
with this.
closing remarks, pretty
Yeah,
much.
closing remarks.
One-legged woman.
Yeah, I think everyone can watch this one here.
Let's choose like one of the shorter ones if we can.
Who is Randy?
Yeah, full
Don't
length.
bring anyone love into this.
Do the whole thing.
By the way, Potter. Did you know that he can't come?
Where?
Josh Potter can get it up,
And he can't ejaculate.
with a girl. No,
Tremendous. That's even better.
he wants to.
Who
Though.
wants to come?
He wants to.
I want to drill a hole in their fucking eyes that they can't take it no more. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my
When you're
God.
fucking them and their one
I saw her
eyeball hanging
live.
out.
I saw her.
And they're like, when are you going to
With
come?
Danielle,
Because I come
actually.
quick.
And
Yeah.
for anyone who
Oh.
doesn't
I come
know,
in
this
minutes,
is
so if I can come
the
in
right there
Her
with you,
Mom's
bro.
House
Mom's House
podcast.
Come in
podcast with
20
Tom
minutes
Segura and
Um,
Christina
giving you
Speed.
where they had
From
Joey
pussy to
Diaz
asshole to
as
mouth.
a guest star.
Back to your fucking pussy.
Jeez, Joey.
Drill it back
That's
to
what
your
you're
ass.
doing? That's
No,
what you're
but
doing?
that's my fantasy. If I couldn't come for an hour, hitting you in the face, making you suck it, popping it out, and hitting you, you're like confused. you don't know where you're going.
Licking
So he's never
toilets.
come?
He's
Right
right
here,
there.
he's right there. Talk to him.
That's how it usually goes, by the way.
Yeah, that's it. It's an hour of fucking
But
straight dick.
he can only come if he jerks off. He can't.
Okay, then when you want to come after the chick is laying there like she got shot in Vegas You know what I'm saying? Like she's laying there, the one leg is hanging. You know what I'm saying? Her mouth is stretched out. Her asshole, it's still open like a dragon's mouth. You know when you fuck them in the asshole stays open.
Do I?
And then just laying there drinking milk, trying to recoup and shit. You're giving them like Gatorade, then
Yeah.
you just drink off on the tits and call it a night.
There you go, man. Why are we even trying to solve this
Dude,
problem?
I don't think it's a problem
It's
anymore.
not a problem.
You don't?
No, yeah.
No.
I don't know. Joey's
Josh
convinced me.
Potter
I
has
mean,
a
I
show,
want to just
Cameron. You
mangle
should
some.
listen
If you
to. I
told
think he would
three
like
chicks
it.
that
He
you
mainly,
couldn't
he mainly
come,
talks
that you
about
could give him
sports,
each
so
dick
I learn about
for an hour.
football listening
You
to
can
him
get all
now.
three of them to show up at once and just keep going.
He
like
talks
Don
about
Henley
Russell
style.
Wilson. You know
You ever
about
read
Russell
that book?
Wilson
You
and
know,
all
Working
his
this Town Again. It came out in '98 about a
antics.
hooker who wrote about all her experiences, and she wrote about Don Henley. That she would go to Don Henley would order 4 bitches,
No.
and he would sit there in this table like this was his table, and that's a fireplace. He would make them bend over. Don't even look at me. He wouldn't even let them look at him. Just look towards the fireplace and bend over. And he'd do lines of coke, and then get up, open up his robe, and stick it in you like 4 times. Then he'd sit back down again, and he'd do a couple more lines, and he'd have you there for 8 hours.
Dude, this
Just
could be your
bend
life.
over.
This could be your life, Josh.
God, I hope so. That's someday.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
when I was younger and I did coke, oh, there was dick for fucking 4 hours.
Yeah.
You just were giving out dick. They're looking at you like, when is this gonna stop? And then when you do come, it's one of those long loads.
Yeah.
You ever have those loads? Like I used to be on probation.
Look at
And there
her
was a
nodding.
dude that
She's
was like
like,
a GI Joe dude
not
that
even
failed the
there.
police test. But his assistant was a good-looking woman. Like she was kind of cute. If I was 30.
So here, let's
like
pause it
38,
here real quick.
Nobody talked to her cold because she had like a wooden leg. Like her leg was.
yes,
So
critical
I just-
analysis.
Are you just looking at my expression? Because I am completely.
No.
I am completely.
You can hear me, right? Can you hear me?
So
appalled
this-
by this.
So this is Joey Diaz. This is something that Christian and I go back to
Can you hear me,
many
Cameron?
times whenever we just need a very
Hello?
just good laugh.
Can you hear me?
But
Oh
I
my
just
God.
want to reflect on his story, talk about like the people with like the cocaine and like just all the sex until like he wants to stop and everything like that. So out here in Vegas, I've heard some crazy stories, man. Like he was talking about
Vegas?
like
Oh,
a Vegas hoe who just got shot up.
Oh my gosh.
I'm telling you that shit is real.
I believe it.
So
It's
even
Vegas.
even without like all the naughty stuff happening up in the bedroom, even without the bedroom tango going on, like I know like me off of drugs, like you can go out to the strip and
You can find
fucking-
anything on the strip. Absolutely.
you can just like
anything.
take some take some alcohol shots or like
Yes,
like some
yes.
mixed drinks. You can be up. Like I know I've
For
been
days.
partying from like
for days.
well, me personally, I've been partying from like 9 p.m. all the way until like 7 a.m.
Oh
just
my
out here in
gosh.
Vegas alone. So
I'm gonna pray for all of you.
I'm just trying to imagine what it's like for some of these guys going for 8 hours of the bedroom tango.
This gets really good.
And then you
What
had
do you
to
think,
call a
Christian?
machine that would tell you what color.
Can you hear
was
me?
up.
Mm-hmm.
And
A
if
little
the
bit.
color came up, let's say your color is maroon, and they go, today's colors are green, maroon, and black. You would have to call in.
So he would have to do drug tests. So he was on probation, so they would drug test him, and they give you a color, and if your color gets pulled up, they call you in. So you're maroon's up, come in and do a piss test, or else you go to jail, basically. So he has to do this now as a result of, but he says he would zap the test, so you get a bunch of pool cleaner and put it in his what, and then zap the test with that. No, but I'm skipping that for you. I'm just providing you the
Because that part
context.
doesn't really matter
I would
right
have
now.
you call the Chinese restaurant and say, I talked to Joey, yeah, what's up? Oh, you want egg drop soup, whatever. The cocaine would be hidden under the egg drop soup.
And
so
he
that
would
if
still
I
make
got
his
trouble with
deliveries
Chinese,
even
we
while
got
he's on
trouble.
probation. He
And
would
they
still
put
make
it in
his
the
drug
bag. This is
deliveries
out.
with
Through
Chinese
a
food.
local Chinese restaurant. Yeah.
One night I knock on the door, and who answers the door?
And
It's her.
before he gets to
She goes,
this
"Oh my
part,
God, it's so great."
here, go ahead, pause it real quick. So he was talking about this assistant to one of the ladies that worked there. So he was saying that she had something wrong with her leg. He couldn't tell if it was a peg leg, if it was like a
If she
like,
was just disabled, like he had a limp.
disabled
or
or
what.
what, but like there was something wrong with the leg. And she was in her 30s, and she was kind of bad. But you could tell that none of the guys talked with her because of the
because
leg.
of her leg. Like she was
And
really
that she-
attractive, other than her deformed leg.
And that like you could tell that none of the guys have done anything with her per se in a little while. So at one point they had her watching Joey here do the piss test
Yeah.
because they
would
couldn't
make-
find out what he
They
was
would
doing.
they knew he was doing something to alter the test, so they would make her monitor him while he did it.
And he was saying that what he would do is that as he's going for it, he would kind of like hold his junk, and then he would look over at her and be like, "It's real nice,
Like
yeah."
you like what you see type thing. But she would like oblige him almost, like
like
they
she would
had
like kind of like
chemistry.
dismiss it, kind of like look around a little
Yeah.
bit.
So
So
he's saying they had chemistry, but they never saw each other again until he's making these Chinese food drug deliveries,
Nice to see you.
and
How have you
it's
been? Like,
her
"It's great to
house.
see
He
you,
ends up
man." I
at.
gave her a hug. And I put the Chinese down, and she goes, "What are you doing with your life?" I'm getting divorced, but I got the stand-up comedy, and I'm trying to deliver food to make a living. And she's like, "Oh, that's so sweet. You and her broke up. Oh, you must need a hug." And as I started hugging her, we started swapping spit. And I touched a little monkey, and I could feel nobody had even touched a monkey in like 10 years. Steam started coming. And I started fingering that motherfucker like a savage and swapping spit with her. And my hand was nice and wet. I'm fingering, I got a pink piece around her asshole.
Oh my god.
And I'm working, and finally I put it down slowly, and I pop her pants. I take her tit, and she's got one big fucking tit. I'm sucking her tits. I'm making out with her, and I'm fingering at the same time. So while I'm fingering her, I take her pants down, but I go, I don't want to see what the other leg is. So I took the leg off of the good leg, and I left the fucking bad leg covered because I don't want to know what it is. If she's got like a pole under there, one of those fucked up feet. So I picked up a fucking leg and I started eating her pussy. The clit fucking was huge. I'm sucking at it like a piece of bubble gum. I look up at her and she's like this, Christina, with her mouth open. I go, now's the time to put the helmet in that fucking mouth. So I switched up. I started two-finger Louie her, and I went around her and I put that fucking hammer in her mouth. And she didn't know what to do. She was like, and at that time, I was trying to fucking lift weights and shit, so I wasn't jerking off. Because somebody told me not to jerk off, that your protein, I was retarded.
Yeah.
You know, I'm retarded.
Yeah.
And when I came in her mouth, it was one of those loads, Christine, that don't stop. You ever have one of those
Saying her
things?
name wrong.
And you're
Christine.
sucking it
name's
with your eyes
Christina.
closed. And then after a minute, you
her
open it up
face?
because you're like, when is this going to stop? And I could look at her swallowing it, and it was endless. It was fucking endless. It was just a load of death. It was like a month and a half of not coming. There was Valium in there and Xanax and fucking
Well, it's so nice
cocaine.
seeing you, Joey. Thanks for stopping by.
I shot a load in her mouth, and when I took my dick out, she went, ah. It was like she drank a gallon of Mountain Dew. She looked at me. She started getting a little dizzy.
Oh my
Because
God.
I was selling Valium at the time. I was taking like 100 milligrams of Valium a night. When I shot in her mouth to put her in a trance, she was glassy-eyed. She gave me a $3 tip, and I left, and I never saw her again. She must have ate that Chinese food and slept for a week.
Oh my God.
Oh,
You got any dates coming up you want to
You can still.
Anyway,
Oh my god.
That's
Oh my
pretty
gosh.
much
that's
it.
a notorious
Oh my God.
clip of his,
Who is this guy?
So
Joey Diaz.
Yes. Oh my
I know that
word.
he's made his rounds as a comedian and as an actor, but
that dude is
this was the very
wild.
first clip that introduced me to Joey Diaz, and
Wow.
I've never
Wow.
forgotten his name since.
I'm sure. I'm sure. He'd be the one to remember. That's the story of old times. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Nala, for farting on my seat. Thank you.
Thank you.
I heard all of them, all the farts. It was real nice and clean.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think what a better way to end than having my mom watch Joey Diaz talk about fucking the one-legged woman.
Real quick, Evangelic Alroy. I think that we were good on that, but thank you for stopping by anyways. That's just me. As the mod telling
I need to
you,
fix
the
this
streamer,
mic.
you know.
You couldn't hear me the whole time I was trying to speak into this. Yeah, what's up?
I heard like a little bit when you pulled it up real up close to you. It
Change
was
what?
definitely audible, but
To what?
Just regular.
Hmm?
Just the 8-inch room.
Okay. You could hear the purple one, Cameron.
I'm not sure which one it was. It was one of them that you pulled up to you when your mom was there.
Can you hear this? Hello. Hello. Oh no. You can't hear anything. Hello, 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 hello. That's good to know that this doesn't work. I'll have to fix that. Fantastic.
But with that being said, how long has it been? It's been about an hour and a half podcast here. So a pretty long one.
Yeah. We can keep going.
Um,
We can go for 4. Do you want to go for 4 hours?
Not for a podcast.
No, I'm playing. I'm done. Yeah, I
I was gonna
nothing
say
left.
it's up to Mr. Hugo here, but on what he wants to do after this. But I think that this
No,
is gonna
that's
be
that's a great way to end.
that's the wrap up for the Cave Dwellers podcast.
I just showed my
hope-
mother of fucking a man on death's door talking about reminiscing about fingering and
sucking
face
and-
fucking a woman with a bum leg.
But if you guys enjoyed this podcast, again, Thursdays 8 to 8:30 is going to be the start time every Thursday. As long as life doesn't come knocking.
As long as I don't pass out unexpectedly.
Hopefully
my
we have a lot
control.
more planned, I guess, episodes for you guys to where it doesn't run an hour and a half of just randomness.
I'm hoping it runs 2.5 hours of just silence.
Or that too, just some good
That'd be
ASMR
ideal for
breathing.
me. Yeah, breathing. Like what do you call it? Like stomach grumbling.
That's always my favorite.
Mukbangs after the grumbling. Speaking of which, I need to order some pizza or something like
Speaking
yesterday.
of which, I was thinking of ordering some Uber Eats, but I live in a gated community, so and the thing is, I don't know my guest code, so I can't tell the Uber
How about you
Eats,
get
"Here's what
that?
the
How
code
about you get
is."
your code?
I need to get my code.
Go to your
I really
roommate,
do.
say, "Bitch, you've been drinking my liquor. The least you can do is give me that fucking code."
That's a story for another time.
Yeah.
However,
Yeah, I won't put him on blast. I'm pissed. I'm pissed for you. I want
that's
vengeance.
another story for when I'm a little bit more alone.
Yeah.
But
I want to put him on blast in public.
I'm not sure what Hugo's doing after this, but I know I'm going to be up playing some games for a while. So who knows? Maybe we can.
You want to
this
switch to
up
Floons? We can just switch right now.
I was going to say we can make a mixed game, kind of.
What you trying to play?
I'm trying to play a little bit of Rocket League, a little bit of Floons, a little bit of
He led
COD.
with what he wants, folks. He led with.
I did.
So
But
let's do
I'm
it.
sure that this won't be the last that you see of us for the night. So
With
with that being said,
yes, thank you for tuning into the podcast. I had an idea for this podcast that I would integrate this into my Twitch channel. Yes, as I said at the beginning, but I have a grander vision for this, that it is truly, a conversation between friends, but also a gaming medium. And I think in the future, you'll see us just on here playing a game for 2 hours and talking, a game that's where we can be idle and have conversation. Like if we're playing Catan or Risk or Floons.
whatever we play.
Yeah. So
This will be more of a structured, kind of seeing our comedic side when we have time to plan it out. Kind of
sure.
setting.
Exactly. Oh,
Well-
Charlie's Lamer followed 3 days ago. Oh, thank you, Charlie.
Thank
I
you,
didn't
Charlie.
I'm going on a date with Charlie on
Oh, okay,
tomorrow.
okay.
We're seeing a show together. Very exciting. if you don't hear me ever speak about Charlie again, it's because the date went poorly.
Well,
It's because I
Charlie,
ghosted Charlie at that point.
Hope
So,
that doesn't happen because you're dating a real famous man right here.
fucking, you better believe it. I'm as famous as they come, girly.